Okay, YouTube, it's late. We're going to do a Marilyn Manson review and talk about Tourniquet, the second single off of Antichrist Superstar. So with this video, main thing about it is I felt like this one was better than The Beautiful People. The Beautiful People video might be more definitive just because it's the song a lot of folks know Marilyn Manson for, but I definitely felt like this one, as you take it, it's just a more intricate look into Marilyn Manson. And that's kind of the situation. Anytime you see like a first single by someone, typically if it's like a song that like everybody knows, hits number 1, hits number 5 on the Billboard, something like that, it obviously doesn't have as much intricate nature to it as much as the second single when you start to learn a little bit more. So I went into that thinking, okay, well, obviously, if 2 Marilyn Manson songs were good off the project, let's see how 2 music videos would be. So that's kind of the thing as to what I have seen here. And I gave The Beautiful People like a 7.5 or an 8. But I'm just going to say up front that this one's going to get a 9 just because I appreciated a lot of what was going on here. So basically the background to this was this entire Tourniquet song Marilyn Manson had said that he came up with in a dream. So whether or not you knew that, it kind of has the idea that the whole imagery as far as what he was trying to convey in the song, he slept and thought about it. And that's that's a pretty haunting thing to sit there and think about that just in itself. But the images that are kind of conveyed in this, it's once again in some sort of contorted and almost obnoxiously just vile place to be. And I like the idea behind it. And so what you're going to be seeing is like bugs crawling all over the place. There's like scissors and incisions that are going on. They're constructing like some sort of freakish like female type thing that doesn't even look human. I mean, it kind of has like some off-key put to it. So I thought, it was interesting to see how that went. But I mean, it's just like the Beautiful People video, just how it doesn't have, it feels almost like it has like its own setting. It's not like this is something that you're going to see, it was original. So that's kind of the thing behind it. I was interested in that when I first, when I watched the Beautiful People video, I was interested by the imagery that went with it, but I didn't understand like where it was kind of coming from. I kind of said, well, but I guess I understand that more now. It's like, hey, this is like a theme here. This is like a whole place of interest as towards everything that's going on. So, obviously for Manson going 2 for 2 with both of these videos off of the Antichrist Superstar album, it just worked a lot more soundly than that. If he had only managed to do it one time and then the second one just kind of was not as much of a smash hit, the visuals might have been a little bit more impaired, but it wasn't like that this time. So it makes me want, I'm probably going to continue to, sporadically do some more of these videos off of the Antichrist Superstar album, but I just have to think of what the next move is going to be, because I liked where this project was going, but I don't know what to expect when we get to Mechanical Animals, or if I just decide to pepper in some other Marilyn Manson stuff. It makes me wonder which specific ones would be there. But so yeah, I mean, the hook is really addictive. I would definitely say it. This is so, I mean, it gets to the point where this is kind of something you want to kind of sing along with almost. And the feel to it is, it just has a real creepy type. Yeah, I mean, compared, I guess I could talk about the difference between The Beautiful People and this. I mean, both of these are kind of warped in the sense of that they're both kind of a warped style. But I felt like this one kind of built upon the first one. Even though the first one is probably the one that more folks are going to remember, I feel like this is probably the better one. It's kind of like, even though most people will say the original is always better than the sequel is probably more developed and it kind of hit. I feel like, as Manson, I mean, because they said that Tourniquet was the second official single on a major label. So I think Portrait of American Family was not, Portrait of American Family was not, I think that was kind of, it was major label, but maybe not like major label like it was supposed to be. I think it kind of got published later or something. So, yeah. And I just really like the idea of the whole album having a collective. I mean, rap, I'm not so sure if it does that. I'm interested to see, whether or not it's just a one-time thing. I mean, most of the time it just happens to be something, but the fact that we're kind of dealing with like a whole collective where it fits, these are like chapters into like a sort of way that all fits together, I was impressed by that. So that's definitely the thing. It's a good feeling, and it's kind of, you look at these sorts of things when you want to say something like, oh, this is creepy. It kind of was something out of the Saw movie, but the thing about it is Saw came out like 5, 6, 7 years later. So it's like, I would say, if you're just, if someone were to ask me, I want to see like the creepiest thing I can find, but I don't necessarily want to watch a 2-hour movie, where do I go? It's like, well, that's simple. You would go, I'd say watch The Beautiful People. If you need more at this current point, I would say watch Tourniquet. That's kind of the situation. It allows you to kind of mellow out and vibe with the music, but at the same time be creeped out and kind of almost spooked at the same damn time. And I felt like, yeah, that's good feelings. That's definitely something you want to do. And yeah, so I give this video a 9. I would say as far as the social score, I don't really know how far this single was in rotation on MTV and VH1 and those sorts of things, but I'd probably say maybe it was a little bit too ghoulish for like the radio to play for very long. I think maybe it did get some rotation. It just depends upon how much the audience could handle for it, because it is, that's the thing about it, is it's not, it is kind of dark, but it just depends if you're into gothic stuff and you can handle like a more kind of moody type thing, except in the extreme of it, that might be the thing. But it's not like your typical just club song or pop song. Even this isn't, this wouldn't be, can't even think of a pop artist right now. This wouldn't be like your, just standard Drake song, obviously, no disrespect to Drake, but, obviously this is kind of moody, and I appreciate that. So that's like the main thing there. So obviously I would say you pretty much need to mess with this video, and I might even say to purchase it. That'd almost be the point to sit there and say that, just have that on the go if you're kind of on a plane trip or just bored or something like that out in your travels. It's like, hey, I can kind of watch this. Obviously, the theme to it is YouTube almost makes you defeat that purpose to even needing to do that. But the idea is to watch music videos outside of YouTube, and that's kind of the thing. YouTube at least has, the idea behind it would be to watch videos outside of YouTube and just be able to use a platform where you wouldn't have to always have that. And I think that's kind of the thing. Obviously, I would say it would probably be, these are the types of videos that would make you want to do that. 9 out of 10.